Hey, the Ramblers and Rovers. So right now we just stepped into the Gold Museum here in Bogota. It's run by the National Bank of Colombia, and it holds some of Colombia's greatest treasures. And I don't mean necessarily the gold, I mean the cultural treasures from its indigenous heritage and just how skilled they were at creating and crafting these magnificent objects. So the Bogota Gold Museum is located in the downtown. It's in the neighborhood of La Candelaria, and the cost of entry is 5,000 Colombian pesos, which is maybe only a couple of dollars. So it's not expensive, and it has to be one of the best museums I have ever been in, ever. So this is a must-do here in Bogota. You can't miss it. You cannot leave Bogota without doing this museum. So join me while I tour different exhibits and show you some of Colombia's most wondrous treasures. The Gold Museum is divided by artifacts from different regions from all over Colombia. So most of Colombia produces gold to some degree. So different peoples, indigenous peoples from different parts of the country found ways of extracting the gold, whether it's in rivers or through mines, and created their own ways of fabricating objects of culture that are now here in this museum. And it's just one exhibit after another of marvelous works of metallurgy. Right behind me, we can see just some examples of this. Especially, I think one of my favorites in the whole museum is this crocodile here. It's kind of cute. More than just a collection of shimmering artifacts, the Museo del Oro offers a profound and moving journey through the spiritual, cultural, and artistic legacy of Colombia's pre-Hispanic civilizations. With over 55,000 objects in its collection, the Gold Museum houses the largest compilation of pre-Columbian gold artifacts on the entire planet, making it an essential stop for travelers, historians, and generally anyone curious about the indigenous roots of the Americas. Stepping into the museum, visitors are greeted with exhibits that go far beyond aesthetic wonder. The artifacts tell deeply human stories of identity, power, spirituality, and transformation. Gold in these ancient cultures was never used as money. Instead, it held symbolic meaning tied to the divine, the cosmos, and the human relationship with nature. The museum's layout is designed to take visitors on a conceptual journey, exploring how these societies lived, worshipped, created, and ultimately disappeared. If you're doing this museum, you better come with some time allotted, because there is a stunning amount of artifacts in this museum. It's not just gold, but it's ceramics, things from these people's daily life, all kinds and all manner of different cultural objects from all over Colombia. It doesn't just tell the story of gold per se, but the worldview of the indigenous peoples who inhabited Colombia and who still call Colombia home. think it's so curious how people all over the world have been obsessed with gold. It's not just something the Spanish have. Clearly the indigenous peoples of the Americas also prize the gold. I mean, you don't go to the lengths it takes to extract it, craft it and everything, and create these beautiful objects if it doesn't have some kind of draw on us as humans. There's something that really speaks to something weird inside us, I feel, that just responds to the call of gold. Maybe to greater or lesser degrees, you know. Probably the indigenous peoples here would not have destroyed the environment just to get at this, but the fact that they went to the great lengths that they did to create these beautiful objects just speaks for itself. The museum highlights the cultures of numerous indigenous peoples from what is now Colombia, each with its unique traditions and artistic expressions. Among the most prominently featured are the Muisca, who inhabited the highlands of central Colombia. They are perhaps best known for inspiring the legend of El Dorado, a ritual in which a Muisca leader, covered in gold dust, would offer treasures to the gods in the sacred waters of Lake Guatavita. Also featured are the Tairona people of the Sierra Nevada, known for their elaborate gold jewelry and ceremonial objects. The Quimbaya, famous for their stylized figures and sophisticated metallurgy. The Zenu, whose contributions include fine gold filigree and an advanced understanding of water management. And cultures like the Calima, Tolima, Nariño, Tumaco, and Malagana, each represented with distinct aesthetics and cosmologies. One of the most striking aspects of the museum is its presentation of gold not merely as a material, but as a medium of communication between the human and the divine. The exhibits include ceremonial items like intricate masks, nose ornaments, and figurines that reflect deeply rooted spiritual beliefs, shamanic practices, and the importance of transformation in indigenous life. While gold may be the museum's shining star, no pun intended, the narrative is surrounded out by beautiful examples of ceramics, textiles, and stonework that illustrate the complexity of pre-Hispanic daily life. Just walking along this exhibit is just so beautifully laid out, and the objects really get the attention they deserve. I mean, look at these beautiful works of art. So we're on our way out. If you want to really appreciate this museum as it properly deserves, you need at least 2 hours, and maybe even more if you want to read every single piece of data and information that they give you. It is a highly informative museum, and it is so well done, well placed. The artifacts are fascinating, and they are laid out in such a nicely curated and respectful way, so that every single piece receives the attention that it deserves, which is something I really liked about this museum. So this is a must-do here in Bogota. You can't miss it. You cannot leave Bogota without doing this museum. With only a couple dollars as an entry fee, there is absolutely no excuse to not come to the Gold Museum. Tip: the Gold Museum is free on Sundays. So if you're here over the weekend, or if you're going to be exploring over a couple of days, and the $2 or a couple dollars that it costs coming here is something you don't want to pay, you know, you can always come here on Sunday and just come in for free.
Era el mismo, el maravilloso aceite elaborado ahora